Everyone has been sad or depressed in some capacity. Like pour the water out and like pour that experience out with the water and like water plant with it and kind of like let it go. Part of the game where you literally like talk to Kate, talk to Alyssa, talk to Juliet. I have started kind of joking that I am like the CEO of Sad Girls.
Hello, my dear friends. Welcome to Mingxi podcast. This is the podcast where we dive deep into the world of creativity and explore the creative journeys of artists, creators, and writers. So I'm your host, Dayeanne, and joining us today is Dayeanne Hutton, a very talented actress. You know her voice as Kate Marsh in Life is Strange, and also Mingxi in Honkai Star Rail, and you've also seen her in Emma Approved. So could you please introduce yourself?
Thank you. That was lovely introduction. I don't know what else to say. Hello, I'm Dayeanne Hutton, and former streamer, current actor, all-around creative.
Many actors have a specific memory of feeling the pull to perform. So was there a particular maybe movie or a play or performance that made you think, yes, I want to be an actress?
Not really, but I grew up, like, I come from a theater family, so I kind of say that I was, like, born with it. Like, I was just born straight into it. Like, I have extremely early memories of going to musicals. Like, my family did a lot of musicals. So, movie musicals, or they took me to see musicals. We were listening to musicals in the car. Like, from a very early age, I was just, like, plunged right into, like, the theater world.
What's your favorite musical, by the way?
Okay, so I guess that is a good from being a kid, like I will always love Into the Woods. It was a big one for me. And then I also really enjoyed Starlight Express, which I know is interesting, but it's adults pretending to be trains. It's fine.
So awesome. And can you recall your very first audition that you had?
First audition, probably not, because I had extreme undiagnosed anxiety, and auditions took me out. Like I have a very early memory of like my mom taking me to an audition at a theater that another friend was also auditioning at, and I just like cried and like refused to actually audition. I was like so nervous. Like it's a miracle I even like got into acting, considering how nervous auditions made me.
And how did you overcome this anxiety that you've had?
Well, for most of my like growing up, I think I just powered through it because I didn't know what it was, right? Like I didn't have the words to describe it, and I didn't have the knowledge to work with it. So it was just trying over and over again, I guess.
I'm very proud of you, because it's very hard to have anxiety and to overcome it and to become an actress, which is the profession that is connected with like battling this anxiety all the time. So yeah, it's really hard.
Yes, I did get diagnosed in my 20s, and now I love my anxiety meds. I was like, oh wow, I do have, okay, yeah, this helps, all right. My mom always just described me as painfully shy, and so I was like, oh yeah, I'm painfully shy, and I was like, no, you have anxiety.
Yeah, so you played Kate Marsh, who is a character whose story about depression and bullying resonated with a lot of fans who played the game. And when you first received the script, what was your first initial reaction to Kate's story?
Well, it's an interesting question. I don't know if Hannah talked about this as well, but like and I don't know if she got more than I did since she was the lead, but I never got like a script to look at ahead of time. And even like when we were in the booth recording, like I did not have a script. I had my lines. And so it was very disjointed, like story-wise. I a lot of the times did not know what was happening in the story. I knew what emotions I needed to be going through as the character in the scene, in the scenario, but like I did not have the bigger picture. So I don't know. I guess I just tell people, like, everyone has been sad or depressed in some capacity and felt picked on or bullied in some capacity, and so I just like dug into that well inside myself and brought it out. Apparently, well, to said people tell me.
And how did you approach portraying such heavy sensitive themes with care? Because I think it's very emotionally draining to play such characters.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know if it's a pro or a con of the way I just described how the script was given to me and how the story was given to me. Like, on one hand, because it was that way, I could not delve into it and do like character work outside of before I came in to record. There was no ability to like dive into this character and these emotions. It's a very like, a lot of voice acting is just like super instantaneous. You just like drop into that place that you need, whichever place you need to go. You like open that box inside yourself and you dive in and you pull it out. And then you also, for me, it's a little easier to like let go of as well, because I'm not like sitting in this backstory I've created and this larger character life that I know of. I just have what's in front of me and I like just go. And so in that way, at least for me, it didn't hit me in the same way. Like, if I was doing a play and Kate was the character in the play, I think I would have a lot more work to do to like get in and out of that mental headspace. But just the nature of voiceover kept it in a place where I could easily like bring it out and then put it back away when I needed to.
And how do you usually protect your own mental health when a job requires you to visit dark places? For example, when you play such difficult characters with, for example, depression or who went through a lot?
For me, I feel like, I mean, I haven't done a ton, right? Like, Kate is like the iconic one, and I have done some other characters that are in a sadder place. But for me, it's a little cathartic to play the character, and it's almost like getting to go through those emotions, and then I feel a little better afterwards, as opposed to like being trapped in there. I haven't had too many experiences recently where I've really kind of, what am I trying to say, like made a system like for how to deal with it, X, Y, and Z. I have a friend who once said a good thing to do if you are feeling stuck in having to go dark places with your mental health for a role, like if you're auditioning or in a booth or something, having a glass of water with you that you obviously like are drinking throughout, but then when you're done, like pour the water out and like pour that experience out with the water and like water plant with it and kind of like let it go. Because it is super important to protect yourself and protect your mental health. And I think the more you work on it outside of acting, then the easier it is to not get trapped in it when you are doing the acting part.
Yeah, I think it's a great metaphor with the glass of water. To like let go of this negative energy with it.
Yes, all credit to Julie Nathanson for that one.
Yeah, and as for aspiring actors who might listen to our podcast right now, what would be one key advice for navigating that emotional terrain? For example, when they need to play such roles?
I think it's just really important that you know your limits. Like, it's really dangerous if you have a dark place that is like unruly and you tap into it and you're unable to get out of it, like it's not worth it. Like, don't go there. Like, only go where you can handle, like if you've worked through something already, or like if going to a certain place will help you work through it. But if it's gonna like stick you in a place that's like hard to get out of, then you're gonna like, you need to have a therapist on hand you can talk to afterwards, or you need to have, people you talk to, or group or community that you can, talk it out with afterwards, so you're not just like living there after.
Yeah, so we've talked, thank you so much for this advice. I think it will be helpful for aspiring actors who might watch or listen to this podcast. So we've talked about your role of Kate, and when you get a script and a character description in general, what is your very first step to building this character? For example, is it their voice quality, their physical posture, or something else?
That's interesting. It's so funny because it's like that almost feels more like how I build like a theater character. Voiceover is so like I don't know how to describe it. Like you go in and you have like 5 different auditions and you need to get them done because you have other things to do. So like you don't. Some people, I'm not a pillar. Like not everyone does things the same way. Some people might take the time, but like for me, it's like you got to grab onto the thing that connects to you, and that will also make the character unique in your audition, or your take on the character unique. Is like, okay, and a lot of times the character descriptions can be confusing or seem contradictory, so you need to like read it and then be like, I interpret it this way, I connect to this character's awkwardness. So that's what I'm gonna tap into that part of me that is, that I have, and I'm gonna build the character that way through me and through the lens of that particular characteristic. Because also a lot of times with the jobs, you don't like, I'll go in for like NPC or additional voices parts, and I don't know ahead of time what they're going to tell me I'm doing, and you just have to be like, okay, here's my preppy girl, like, oh, okay, here's my nerdy girl, and so you have to build. Like, this is why I think a lot of people encourage people who want to do voiceover to take acting classes, theater classes, on-camera classes, because then you have those kind of, not stereotypes.
Like a skeleton that you have and you just use.
Yeah, exactly. So you're like, oh, okay, this is my... And then you adjust based on the other information you're given, like, oh, it's an apocalyptic world, or like, oh, it's a fairyland. Like, you kind of have to just, a lot of improv. Improv is a good class to take as well. I'm like sitting here like, dang, this is kind of hard.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing it. I'm sure that it will be very useful for aspiring actors as well. Yeah, and outside of your work, what activities, hobbies, or experiences refill your creative well and inspire you? What do you like to do in your free time?
I love how you framed that question. I really enjoy cooking and baking. I garden sporadically until my garden doesn't grow, and then I get angry, and then I leave it alone until I'm ready to garden again and potentially be disappointed. I love reading. I'm always reading. I'm always listening to audiobooks, and I play video games. My husband and I have like games that we play at night together, so that's like our like wind down time together. I have a lot of like I call them like grandma hobbies. Like I enjoy crocheting and embroidery and baking and gardening, and so I like all these little grandma hobbies that I have.
What's the book that you read recently that you could recommend to our listeners and viewers?
Ooh, let's see. I have so many.
Yeah, you can name several if you want.
And I'm like, what did I just? Let me pull up my Storygraph. By the way, if anyone's a reader listening, Storygraph is superior to Goodreads, and I suggest everyone switch. Oh gosh, I just read, it's heavy and it's like a horror, but I just read, recently I read Bat Eater and Other Names for Cora Zhang by Kylie Lee Baker, which explored a lot of like AAPI hate during COVID, and but like in a very interesting way. And then I really enjoyed Blood and Tea. It's a 2-part series. Tempest of Tea and A Steeping of Blood was a really fun like fantasy duology that I recently read as well.
Thank you so much. I also love reading books, poetry books, and also listening to audiobooks and audio plays as well. I really enjoy it. So yeah, thank you so much for those recommendations.
Yeah, of course. I'll talk about books all day long. I'm like, okay, what genre? What are you interested in? Okay, here's 5 books.
And what about you mentioned video games? What's the video game that you played recently that made a very good impression on you that you would recommend?
Yeah, my husband and I are currently playing through a game called Sea of Stars, and I believe it won Indie Game of the Year in 2023. But it's like a pixel art RPG adventure game, and it's got very sweet characters and a very good story that just got really sad last night while we were playing. We're obviously not finished yet, but it's a big recommend.
Thank you so much. I love indie games because they have such unique plots, and I really enjoy how the characters are portrayed. Yeah, thank you so much for this recommendation as well.
Of course.
Yeah, so we've discussed your roles that you played before, and are there any dream roles that you haven't explored yet but you would love to in the future?
I always feel weird when I don't necessarily have an answer to this question because I feel like I'm still just like trying to work at all and like to like aspire for a certain role feels wild. I'm like, I just want anything right now. Like I would just like to work. But I really want to play like a super fun, like chaotic character. Like when I play TTRPGs and D&D and stuff, and I always make my characters very small, very chaotic good, and I have a blast. And so I just would love to play some sort of chaotic good gremlin-y character.
And we've discussed it with Hannah. Would you love to play with motion capture technology that's quite popular nowadays?
Absolutely. I actually weirdly trained, didn't realize I was training in mocap like way back in 2010 when I was still in college. I hadn't even done voiceover yet, but I had a friend who worked at a college out here that had a mocap stage, and he was teaching himself how to use it. And so me and another friend would go in and like be his models for him. And I loved it, and I would love to do it for games. I was very sad when they remastered Life is Strange and they just like brought in like a local, because I think they did that in Colorado, and they brought in a local actor to mocap for Kate, and I was like, no, please! I would have loved that so much. I would have driven. I would have done whatever. Because also the original mocap they did all that in France, so that I couldn't have gotten to. But I was like, I can get to Denver. I can do that. So yeah, I would love to do motion capture, performance capture, because it's very theatrical. It's very theater-like. It's like a black box theater, and that's like my origins. So I would love to go back to that.
Yeah, I really love watching these behind the scenes videos with the motion capture, and it's so interesting to see how characters move and how actors move in these weird costumes, but it's so fascinating. Yeah, it's so fun. I really hope that you will have this opportunity in the future. Yeah, I'm rooting for you.
Thank you.
That you will play.
Thank you.
Get to play it. So we've discussed previously on the podcast, we discussed the butterfly effect, and I really love this concept. I love reading articles about it, watching videos. And what is a small, insignificant butterfly effect that you've had in your life that led to a significant change?
I mean, I feel like all of them. I don't know. I think a lot about like colleges. When I went to college, I wanted to leave. I'm from California, and I wanted to go to college outside of California. And I was auditioning for musical theater colleges. And at the time, I felt like I was auditioning for so many, and I really wasn't. And a lot of times I'll have a thought of like, man, I wish I had auditioned for more schools and had gotten in somewhere else. But then I have to stop myself, because even though like I don't necessarily love parts of the path I went on, like if I didn't, go to the school I went my freshman year and then transfer to a different school my sophomore year, then like I wouldn't have studied abroad when I did and met like some of my best friends, and then wouldn't have led. And I think about that a lot, of like I have less in like the way you framed it, and more in like if I just think of a regret that I wish I could change, then I'm like, but if I did, then like all these other things wouldn't happen. So like it seems like a small thing to change, just be like, oh, I wish I'd gone to a better college. And then I'm like, but it led me where I am now, and there are things about my life I love, and I wouldn't want them to change because of that small change in the past.
Yeah, as I analyzed, even a bad experience could lead to something good in the future, even though at the moment you could say, oh, I'm so frustrated, I'm so sad that this happened, but you never know what could happen in the future and what could this moment lead you to.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so we've mentioned different books and characters, and if you could have lunch with any movie, game, book character, who would it be and why?
Oh, wow. This feels like a question I'm going to blank out on because it's so many things to think of, and I'm going to be like, I don't know.
You can name several if you want, because I've asked my guests and they usually can't choose just one character because there are so many. We don't talk about characters, maybe about universes of from books or movies that you would love to visit, maybe from this side.
Yeah, that's also good. Like, the fantasy worlds, I want to visit them, like all of them. They're very, I'm going to have to look at my, my book app again and be like, jog your memory. My goodness.
What's your favorite fantasy book, by the way? Or maybe books that you love from this genre?
So, yeah, I have, so where's my favorite? I really love Sarah Beth Durst writes some really great cozy fantasy books. The Spell Shop, The Enchanted Greenhouse, and they're just super cozy feeling, and I would want to curl up in them as well. The books I have on my favorites list are not places I necessarily want to be. I'm looking at it, I'm like, it's like Blood Over Brighthaven and Victorian Psycho, and those are not places I personally want to be, but I loved the books. I really love any book that is, I've found Japanese translated books that deal in magical realism I really love. So any of those worlds I would find fascinating to visit because they just feel warm and inviting, and the cultural differences and experiences I really enjoy reading about, so I would really enjoy living in, I think. So hopefully that's enough of an answer.
Of course, yeah. I would also love to visit some comfy, warm places that are described so beautifully in the books. Yeah, so I'm on the same page.
Cozy magic, somewhere with cozy magic.
Yeah, and now let's go to the section with questions from fans. There were lots of them, and I've chosen the most interesting ones. So the first one is, what was it like to play the role of Mingxi in Honkai Story?
Oh, a Mingxi question. It was fun. It was I went in, and she's a very in the role of games, she's there to explain this event, and so you're just kind of having to give a lot of information and still stay interesting. So I was saying back earlier, where you tap into that part of yourself, I tapped into the part of myself that's ever worked at a front desk and had to explain how to sign up for fencing lessons, or ever had to give a tour, or ever had to kind of explain a report in front of class. And I tapped into that part of me, and I knew the world of Honkai, because I had been playing, so I knew the world and I understood everything, and so we just kind of hopped in and went.
As for the second question, what got you into the role for voicing all three characters, Kate Marsh, Juliet Watson, and Alyssa?
Just to clarify, how did I get into each character, or how did I end up playing all three characters?
I think the person meant, I think both. Why you voiced all three characters, and how, did you feel about voicing them?
one answer is way more interesting than the other. So for how or why I am all three is a very like just the business of acting. It was a SAG game. When you get hired, they're allowed to give you like up to 3 characters to voice. So that's how I ended up with 3. As with how I got into them, I do owe a lot of credit to Phil Bach, who is the director. It was because Life is Strange was my very first video game, I'd done like one radio commercial before, but very different. So I didn't even know I was going to be voicing 3, and I think he saw the panic in my eyes, and so he very much like helped me, because he also had to describe the characters to me because there weren't pictures. So when he was describing Alyssa, he was like, okay, we're going to go to Alyssa. She's like this goth girl. She's got purple hair. She's wearing skulls. And like he kind of described her for me and was like, we tried a few different things out with her. And then with Juliet, he was like, all right, she's a bit tougher. He was like, what did he do? He was like, stand with your, like a power pose, basically, like stand with your legs hip width, put your hands on your hips and like kind of feel a little more masculine, get a little more like masculine energy into her like stance and voice, because truly like her big scene is her just like yelling at someone. So it was like so he really helped me kind of find those characters, which isn't usually the case, but I think he was like, oh, she's new, oh, she's panicking, let's give her some stuff to work with.
When I first played the game, I was shocked to realize that you voiced all 3 characters, because they are so different, and you did a perfect job of voicing them. Yeah. So
Thank you so much. Every time I hear that, it means a lot, because I was honestly so scared that they did not sound different and that it was super obvious, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm a terrible actor, like this is so embarrassing, like it's just me. And then you have the part of the game where you literally like talk to Kate, talk to Alyssa, talk to Juliet, and I was like, oh my god, everyone's gonna know I'm a fraud. So every time someone's like, I didn't know it was you, I'm like, okay, that's just me like being an actor.
Yeah, no, you did a perfect job. Yeah, I was just so confused. I was like, how did the actress who voiced Kate also voiced Alyssa and Juliet? I was just mind blown.
Yes, it helps that they all have like, they have slightly different voices, but then they have such different personalities.
Yeah.
Like they've all got a lot of different stuff going on.
Yeah, I agree. As for the next question from a fan, when you played Kate Marsh, did you identify with the character in any way?
Yeah, so I have started kind of joking that I am like the CEO of Sad Girls. I've done some voiceover for quite a few Sad Girls, and also I grew up, I went to Catholic school for 13 years, so I like very much like understood the religious aspects that were going on. It's like a part of me, even though I'm not like I'm not part of the church anymore, but like it's there, it left an imprint, you know. And I've definitely, you know, felt other, like I was saying kind of at the beginning, like I have not experienced what Kate experienced to the degree she experienced, but I feel like we've all felt othered, we've all felt like we didn't fit in, we've all felt misunderstood, and especially when I was recording that in my early 20s, like there was a lot of that I had not learned how to deal with in my own life, of like feeling like someone doesn't like me, or you know, so it's a lot not fresher, like it's not like I don't understand those feelings, but yeah, that feeling of loneliness, whether in my past that was actually happening or it was happening in my head, I felt it. So I definitely related.
The next question, it's not connected with acting, but will you make a return live streaming on Twitch, or have you moved on? A person is curious.
It's complicated. I miss it. I would like to come back. I don't currently have time to do it or energy to do it. And I do feel very stressed out, like my whole setup is falling apart. Case in point, I am recording this on my laptop because my camera I use for streaming and for interviews and stuff has decided it's done working. And I'm hoping it's just a little, the USB connection that I need to replace and everything's fine. But I don't miss the tech headaches. But because I don't stream as often, every time I go to use my setup, something's wrong because I'm not constantly using it. So it's like, which one? So that's not really an answer. My answer is, I hope so.
Yeah, we also really hope that you would return, because I loved watching your streams, playing
Thank you.
different games, but just do what you're comfortable with. Yeah, that's the most important thing.
Yeah, I leveled up with my adulting, and I have like a Monday through Friday kind of, not exactly 9 to 5, but like 8-hour job. So I'm like, with what energy, with what time? But again, I do miss it, and I do miss the community. I miss my community. I miss getting to play new games. I don't play games as much because I'm not streaming, and there's a ton I want to play. So, fingers crossed.
Yeah. As for the next question, what's the most emotional scene you ever had to voice act?
Well, probably it would have to be the rooftop scene. There've been some auditions where there've been some like pretty emotional things, but absolutely the rooftop scene. Nothing's topped that yet.
Yeah, I think it's like the climax of one of the climaxes of the whole story. I just cried like a baby when I played this part. It was very emotional. Yeah. As for the next question, it's also connected to Kate's character. When a fan shares that Kate's story helped them, what does it feel like for you as the person who gave her a voice?
Oh wow, there's a lot. There's some fear for me because it feels like a lot of pressure. Because it's like I fully understand the weight of it and the significance of it, and I feel like such a small part of it, right? Like I didn't write it, I didn't come up with it, I gave the voice, and so I always make sure to credit like everyone involved because I know it was not just me. It was when it first came out, I had to figure it out because people would like, let me know really emotional things and be like, or anytime anyone's been like, oh, I was just like Kate in this game, save me. Like, that's really heavy. And I don't want to mess that up by saying the wrong thing. So I just am always very grateful that the game helped people. I'm very grateful that it helped them to a better place and that they're with us now. Because like, it's a lot of pressure to be like, I don't want to say anything that would disrupt that, or I'm not a therapist, I don't want to say the wrong thing. So I tread lightly with great love and respect and understanding in my heart to anyone who says those things to me, because I want to respect the peace that the game gave them, while acknowledging their thanks. And it's just a lot. It's like, oh wow, this thing I did really affected you in that way, and I'm so grateful to be a part of a game that really helped people emotionally. I'm so honored. It's ruined me because it feels like any other job is like, I'm not making a difference. Like, I want to keep making a difference. I want to keep making games and art that help people, but you're not gonna get that every time. But like, it really set a standard for me of like, this is what I want to do. I want to help people through unconventional mediums.
And the next question, it's also connected with fan interaction. What has been the most meaningful interaction you've had with a fan of Life is Strange? And how has that affected your view of the project?
I've had so many meaningful interactions, again, just due to the nature and Kate being like who she is and people having the reaction they do. I've had a lot of people share a lot of really special, difficult, incredible things with me, and I cherish all of it. And what was the second part of the question?
And how has this interaction with the fan affected your view of the story, of the project?
I don't think it's affected my view of the project. After the initial release and the initial reactions, that effect, I was like, oh, whoa, like this is way more than just a game. This is way more than just a character. This is way more than I thought it would be. But ever since then, it's continued to be that, and I'm so aware of how special the game is and how important it is to people. So every time a new person interacts with us about it changing them or helping them in some way, I'm just so grateful. I'm just so grateful that it's still helping people all these years later. That it's so special to people. Like, I'm just honored to be here and be a part of it. I'm just like happy to be here.
Yeah, and I'm so happy that you were the one who voiced Kate. Such a beautiful person inside and out. I'm just so happy. And as for the last question from a fan, what's the funniest and most memorable thing that's ever happened on set or in the recording booth?
Ooh, funny things. Not a lot of funny things happening. Like Life is Strange content. I guess. I think I've told this story before, but it was just really cute because when we would record Life is Strange, the Don't Nod devs would be on Zoom as well, and sometimes Michelle would do like a quick rewrite or be like, "Here, say this." And I think it was just a translation thing, like a lost in translation. There was a line for Alyssa, like when they're at the pool and she like gets hit with the water noodle or the pool noodle, and the line was written as water weenie. And I was like, and Phil and I were kind of like, I'll totally say this, but like I've never heard anyone call it that. I call it a pool noodle. I don't know if you want to do, but I mean, I think we recorded both. But I was just thinking like, water weenie. I don't know how that's gonna go over. Like, I don't think anyone has ever called it that I've ever heard of. So I was like, this might be a translation error, but I've never said water weenie.
Yeah, but maybe some people use this expression.
Maybe. I don't know. Let us know, anyone listening, if you've ever called it a water weenie.
Yeah, write in the comments if you call it that. Yeah, so thank you so much for answering the fans' question. And as for the last part of our podcast, we usually play a game called This or That. So I'll give you two variants, and you have to choose one of them quite quickly without thinking. So the first one, I just had to ask it because it's connected with Life is Strange. Save Arcadia Bay or save Chloe?
Oh, that's rude. I don't kill me. I save the Bay. Chloe asks you to kill her. I'm respecting her wishes.
Yeah, I will do the same. And also Hannah chose the same variant. We all chose to save Arcadia Bay.
I know it makes everyone mad, but I'm just honoring her wishes.
Yeah, rewind time or stop time?
Oh, stop time. It's like we were saying with butterfly effect. I don't want to mess anything up, but I'll stop it.
Yeah. A detailed directed performance or spontaneous improvised chemistry?
Oh, like with between two actors, or
Yeah, with between two actors, or maybe when you play a certain character, do you want to improvise more or just to follow the director's instructions?
not saying that I can't improv, but I am a rule follower. I am a rule follower. If the rules are like, let's improv a little, I'll go for it. But like I won't even think to improv unless it's like told to me to do it, because I follow rules. I'm a little literal.
Binge watching a brilliant series or getting lost in a great video game?
Getting lost in a great video game.
A long quiet walk in nature or a vibrant day spent in a museum or city?
Nature.
A hero role or villain role?
Ooh, I want to be a villain that doesn't seem like the villain, and then plot twist, she's the villain.
Yeah, I love this. Comedy or drama?
Comedy.
A subtle quiet scene or big explosive monologue?
Ooh, subtle quiet scene.
Play a human or a fantastical creature or robot?
A fantastical creature.
Do you have any like creatures from fairy tales, or maybe not from our world, that you love? What's your favorite like creature or character from like maybe fantasy worlds?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I've ever thought of having a favorite. I think we're all enamored with fairies, depending on their temperament. Definitely, I think Selkies are really cool because I'm a horse girl and they're like water horses.
Yeah. As for the next one, play emotional scene or action scene?
Emotional scene.
On-camera acting or voice acting?
Ooh, that's hard. They're so different. They so depend on your mood. Voice acting.
Known for one iconic character or many diverse characters?
I'd like to be known for many iconic characters.
Yeah, many iconic diverse characters. That's the perfect answer. Coffee or tea?
Oh, coffee in the morning, tea at night.
Rainy day indoors or sunny day outdoors?
I do love a rainy day indoors.
Yeah, same. It's really comfy, especially to read a book. Yeah,
exactly.
It's perfect. Book or movie?
Book.
And dog or cat?
Cat.
Yeah. Do you have any pets?
Yeah, we have 2 cats.
That's so cute. What are their names?
Their names are Dovahkiin and Marceline.
Oh, so cute. I also have a cat.
Oh, what's her name?
Isa.
Isa?
Isa. Yeah. She's a girl. Yeah.
Yeah, ours are both. Yeah, we have 2 girls as well.
That's so cute. Yeah, and before we wrap up, do you have any exciting announcements about maybe upcoming projects or any news that you would like to share with our listeners and viewers?
If anyone listening is a fan of like the TTRPG space, I've been a part of a Cyberpunk Red actual play for several years. It's on YouTube. It's called Cyberpunk Edge of Extinction. The channel is Infinite Sided Dice. It's a lot of fun. Even though I'm not playing a chaotic character, it's like one of the first times I've ever like not gone chaotic, and they like turned me into a leader, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. But it's super fun, so you can check that out. And I just have, little voice acting stuff here and there. Like it's kind of funny, not funny. It's like interesting when you go from like I have Life is Strange and Kate, and then everything these days is like little smaller things, like little guys. So I post about them here and there if anyone's ever interested, but it's nothing like wild or super big.
Yeah, I will share your social media platforms down below in the comments or like in the description. Yeah, so you could check out and be tuned with Dayeanne's work. Yeah, because I'm sure there will be a lot of great projects. Maybe not now, but in the future, certainly.
Yes, yeah, and there's lots of little, like, I've done a few other smaller bits in Honkai, and I've done like another sad girl in Memento Mori, which is a mobile game. So like there's little guys here and there.
Yeah, I'm really excited about all your upcoming projects and roles. Yes, so,
Thanks.
well be tuned. And so that was all for today. Thank you so much for joining me today, Dayeanne. It was such a great joy to have you as my guest on the podcast. So if you enjoyed today's episode, guys, please consider subscribing, liking this video or podcast, and also leaving us a comment. And until then, keep exploring, keep creating, keep shining, and we'll hope to see you next time. Bye bye.